It took the community by surprise, the controversial death of Reverend Bob Carlson. He was a community member known for his charitable efforts in several different groups and organizations. An anonymous letter sent to police sparked an investigation into sexual molestation allegations involving Reverend Carlson. Medical examiners confirmed his death was a suicide after jumping off the Penobscot Narrows Bridge in Prospect. And in March, City Councilors set a November 8th date for citizens to vote on whether to consolidate Bangor Dispatch with the Penobscot Regional Communications Center after a Bangor dispatcher collected signatures to force the citywide vote. By more than a 3-to-1 margin, city residents supported Bangor Dispatch and kept it from being combined with PRCC. Meanwhile, another question on the ballot answered by Penobscot County voters was whether or not to allow table games to the existing Hollywood slots and simulcast racing operations. But with much needed jobs and the possibility of a boost in state revenue, it overwhelmingly passed with 61% of the vote. Casino officials hope to have the table games fully operational by mid-March. Also, Bangor residents cast their opinions into the Bangor Arena and Convention Center. After a debate that was heating up for months, Bangor voters approved the building of a $58 million arena and convention center next to the current Bangor Auditorium. The August 4th groundbreaking literally set in stone the new facilities, and since that date, the structure has been shaping up. And when the stage goes up, you know summer is near. The Bangor Waterfront Concert Series had another successful season, but with some noise complaints about the direction of the stage, city councilors held off on committing to 2012, causing a few major acts to fall through. But in the end, city officials and concert organizers were pleased to reach an agreement for next summer's showcase. The Waterfront's other big musical event made through its 10th year, despite some bad weather. The American Folk Festival had its highest donation total ever for Friday and Saturday of the event, as bad weather brought on by Tropical Storm Irene forced the festival to cancel its Sunday lineup. The festival ended up about $75,000 short of its fundraising goal and couldn't collect on its insurance policy because not enough rainfall fell. And it was certainly one of the closest votes in the Nurses Union and Eastern Maine Medical Center's history. On February 23rd, members of the Nurses Union at EMMC picketed after contractual agreements with the hospital kept them at the negotiating table. Tensions increased, teetering on the edge of a strike on May 5th, but that was resolved, at least temporarily. The sides agreed to a one-year contract. And it has become a major issue in the medical and law enforcement community alike. Bath salts. What started as an unfamiliar drug in our area has grown into an epidemic. It is an illegal synthetic drug that can be snorted or injected and create an extreme paranoia in its users and causes other dangerous effects. Police and medical professionals have come together to try to combat the drug. Governor LePage signed an emergency bill in September making bath salts illegal in Maine. However, despite the prompt law for bath salts, the state legislature received criticism for biennial cuts that risk closing down mental health facilities. Dorothea Dix is one of 2 state psychiatric hospitals and the only one serving eastern and northern Maine. Its future isn't out, however, as more than $2 million in state funding cuts threaten to shut it down. Bangor City Councilors voted to form an independent regional committee to urge the state to reverse its cuts. And some of those councilors involved in that committee decision are some of the new faces in the Bangor governing body. After a long and rigorous campaigning schedule leading up to the election on November 8th, newly elected candidates, Bangor City Councilors Joe Baldacci, James Gallant, and Ben Sprague were sworn in. In addition, Kerry Weston, who has been on the council since 2009, was chosen as the city's mayor. And to wrap up the 2011 year in review, we reflect on the Occupy movement. For about 5 weeks, participants of the Occupy Bangor movement protested outside the Bangor Public Library, expressing their displeasure with the economic state of the country. After library executives told occupiers to pack up, citing liability concerns, activists re-entered their original site at Pierce Park, where police later ordered them to fold up camp. And by December 6th, that once occupied land was once again unoccupied.